I do care deeply about Plymouth. I think that the businesses here are very strong. We love each other in the community. Everybody gets along. From leaving that brief time and living in Kiel and also living in Sheboygan for probably 14 years of my life, I feel like Plymouth is that middle ground. And if I'm somebody in my 50s who can give back to this great community along with being part of hockey, plumbing, and heating, I feel that that would be justice for everyone around me. I want to protect our city. I want to give back. I want to be a voice. I want to get to know everybody more. I dropped away from public speaking about 15 years ago. It was something that kind of was in my heart, and I'd like to get back to it. I've also have a lot of experience with multiple different businesses, owning hockey, plumbing, and heating, managing and consulting over 15 chiropractic clinics nationwide. I'm still involved in the chiropractic community. I'm a huge patient advocate. I try to help anywhere I can. I have 5 children. I also have a great community of people. I think that with my expertise in getting to know people and being involved in listening to them, I feel that I could bring their voice to the board. And I also could stand up with the board and help us be just seen more and appreciated more for what we do. So I would appreciate it if you'd all give me a chance to step in on this board and learn more about it and be part of the community, hopefully for the rest of my life. But who knows, right? And if anyone has any questions.
Thank you. The chair will allow council members to ask any questions of the candidate as they wish. And I would encourage you, if you do have a question later on, to pass that along to Tim Blakesley at the administrator's office, and then he can follow up and get any answers as well.
The only question I do have is, how much time does an average board member put into their position monthly?
It's in my mind all the time.
That I understand, believe me, like everything I do, it's on my mind, but I'm saying, like, when you're sitting in your office, like, how often, like, or in your house, are you taking phone calls, are you filling out paperwork, are you reading? You know, everyone else has other hobbies and things, so I guess I'm asking, when you're looking at 30 days a month and 40 days, you know, 40 hours a week, how much time average do you put in?
Great.
I can answer that a little bit on being first district. You can put a lot of time in,
Okay,
a lot. It varies, I think between me and Diane, it varies quite a bit because I'm more well-known.
okay.
The only thing I gotta tell you to remember is send them their way. When they get in their moods, let them take care
Well,
of it.
I'm from the city park area, so I do understand that, but yeah, okay.
I guess that would, depends on the hot topic of the day.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure it's an ebb and flow, right, whatever's going on?
I've been on the council about 2 years, and I've taken 3 phone calls or phone. You know, there's been like 3 subject matters, but one subject matter has like a whole subdivision contacting you, but it's not pounding you all the time.
All right, I just didn't want some random person showing up at my door, so I just thought I'd ask.
Don't sit on the front porch.
Yeah, okay.
Some of these meeting packets
Mhm.
are 165 pages.
Okay, thank you.
I take time to read through every page,
Okay,
you know, highlight, make notes, write down questions. This past weekend, and I shared this with Tim, I had a couple of neighbors see me out in my yard and come talk to me about safety concerns with the fair because of where I live.
okay.
Wound up talking to 2 people for an entire morning. You know, so it varies, right? And I've taken a couple calls, so.
Okay. I
Yeah.
appreciate you sharing.
John?
And I'm just a couple of months past my first year on the council, and similar to the comments that folks made, you know, as far as citizens contacting me, I think I had 3 or 4, and most of them I passed on to, and Tim does a great job as far as taking care of helping you out and as far as resolving those kind of concerns that somebody has. Well, there's 2 meetings a month, and then we are on committees, so we have some meetings that we attend. Since it was my first year, I tried to attend a lot of the other committees that I wasn't on, because they wanted just to see how things went as far as city operations and so on. So it's in the packets, like Kevin said, pretty extensive. I'll read it through at least one time, and Tim gives great reports. And I love reading those because it really gives you a good sense of what's going on in Plymouth. And so it takes a little bit of time, reading time, and I do it twice. I do go through quickly the first time, and then before the meeting, I spend much of Monday just going over the stuff that we're going to be talking, on Tuesday, that we're going to be talking about.
Thank you for sharing. That's all.
I would
David?
also say that we have the meetings on regular at 7 o'clock, but there are quite often, there are meetings at 6 o'clock or 6:30 before the regular meeting that, that should be attended to. But all in all, I mean, most of the contact that I get from my constituents was via email. Don't get a lot of phone calls. I don't know about Mike, if you get any phone calls or not.
It's emails.
Yeah, emails, or they stop you on the street if they recognize you.
Thank you.
I think it depends on the time of year, like we had an hour budget meeting tonight before the council. So that only happens now through the end of October, then the budget process is over. So it varies, and it turns into, a few hours for sure. Depends.
We've
All
had
the-
7-minute meetings though, too.
Anybody want to adjourn? No, only kidding.
I appreciate you all sharing, thank you.
Okay,
That's the only
good.
question that I had.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your interest in the vacancy.
Thank you.
And our next candidate is, I'm going to try not to kill your name, Tyler. Tyler Rezacek.
Hi everyone, I'm Tyler Zacek. I've lived in Plymouth my whole life, other than when I left to do some service in the United States Army. I raised my 3 kids here, started several businesses here, and admittedly am quite vocal about things that go on in this town on occasion. I would like to make an impact in my city beyond just being a business owner and a father. And I think this is a natural step to that. Quite frankly, when I get vocal on social media, people on both sides tell me that I should do something about it, so here I am to do something about it. I appreciate your consideration and happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much. Both candidates have supplied information on themselves, which we've had at our disposal. And you heard what I said earlier to the previous candidate. Council have any questions for Tyler at this point? Or you can submit them to the administrator's office for future reference. I would estimate that we'll have this on the agenda in 2 weeks for a selection, but maybe not, because that all depends on a lot of other things that are going on and how busy the agenda is and so on. So we're not going to guarantee in 2 weeks. It could be in 4 weeks. So other than that, any questions of the candidate? Thank you very much for your interest. Appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you for people who maybe thought about it. This hasn't happened too often in my tenure, that we have a vacancy in midterm, and whoever is selected would serve until the April of '26 when that term ends, and then there would be a general election as usual. Thank you very much. Moving on to item 7, ordinance number 13, an ordinance repealing and recreating section 11-2-17 of the City of Plymouth Code of General Ordinances related to regulation of sexual offenders. Tonight, we have our police chief here to give us a little summary on that. Chief, you want to give us a little heads up, and Tim can also add in some of the changes that we have put into this?
Good evening, thank you, Mayor. There have been no changes since council saw this at committee of the whole just a few weeks ago. Rather, we address some of the questions that you had of us. Specifically, the map that you have in front of you is an effort to actually illustrate the boundaries we have been talking about. So on that map, if you look at it, the darkest red color is actually on our school properties, and that is essentially the real property there of the schools. Then there's a lighter shade of red, and again, on the screen, I'm not sure how it appears to you up there. The lighter shade of red actually illustrates the 1,000-foot radius of each one of those schools. That would be the residential restriction that we are proposing for such offenders. Continuing on then, the real property of athletic fields, the library, some of the other structures that were named in the ordinance, or those properties that are used for those purposes, then constitute the other shade that almost looks orange on the map I have printed in front of me. For an example, that would be like Quickiac Athletic Field is one of those properties, so you can get the color right there. Those properties are generally what the safety zones currently are, and as we kept them. And then the yellow color surrounding each one of those is that 200-foot no loitering zone. And so those are the shades of the map you see in front of you and how this would be implemented over the city of Plymouth. So as you can see, there are still several large areas, residential areas, that are available for an offender to find a home if need be. Again, as we were recommended, we need to keep some various areas available at different housing costs and different income levels and such. Those have to be maintained in some fashion, and so this is what we came up with as a reasonable alternative. And again, that's to illustrate and help you visualize what we brought before you previously. The other major question that was asked was on an offender attending some kind of an event at a school or something like that. Research into the state law says that they must notify school administration before they attend an event on that property. It does not name a specific school official. So for here in Plymouth, generally speaking, they would contact the school in question. It is referred to the school principal, who makes the first determination of if the request is reasonable. Again, generally speaking, it's to attend like a child's event or something like that, the offender's child maybe. If they're gonna be on the property, they have to give advance notice. They're also supposed to check in with their parole officer or their whoever's managing them. In that circumstance, if there was an objection, generally speaking, most likely what's gonna happen is the school official is gonna contact the police department. That's what's apparently happened in the past. The police department would look into the matter, see what the justification of the visit is, and then again, have a conversation, most likely with probation and parole or Department of Corrections, to make sure that it fits within the boundaries that have been prescribed for the offender. If there's a disagreement on it, since they are generally on probation or monitoring still, it's going to be the monitoring entity that would contact them and say, you're not supposed to go through with what you're intending. Obviously, if they do, then potentially we have an arrestable offense. The police department or probation and parole could handle that. So that was the answer that basically came. Again, it's generally left up to the school administration to say, yes, it's reasonable for the person to be here during the hours and times that they're saying they're going to be here for an event, or it's unreasonable, and upon that, they would reach out for assistance. And those are really, I believe, the meat and potatoes of the questions we were asked at the last meeting, but if there's been new questions or anything else I can answer for you, that's what we're here for.
Thank you, Chief. Before we ask questions, I'll ask Tim Blakesley, the city administrator, to maybe add to that at all, if there's anything in particular on the changes.
I would say Chief Ruggles covered the ordinance change very well. No changes from the administration end. Attorney Bieber, anything else to add?
Nothing to add.
Thank you. Then the chair will allow a couple of questions. Greg?
The way it used to be was parole, state, whatever. Is there any way that we can adopt that yet, or is it that the state is the way you placed it to us now?
To manage the offenders in the
Yes.
registration, no, it is still done through the Department of Corrections, probation and parole, that kind of thing. There is.
So not just
All of-
anybody can say, hey, come to my,
Correct. They need to contact, very specific under state law, they need to contact the school administration to gain that permission. doesn't name the official. So again, here in Plymouth, in conversation, it sounds like it normally is referred to the school principal first. If it needs to go up higher, it might go to the district level to make a decision. But then obviously if they object, normally they're reaching out to either us or probation and parole if they know the right avenue and they're objecting to the visit.
Okay. John?
You know, I was looking at the map, and I was curious as to how many people are on the list here for Plymouth, so I checked with the state, and they have 41 for Plymouth. I don't know if that's correct, but I don't know if it's been updated. Is that a lifetime probation that they have as far as?
It depends on the exact offense committed. Many are lifetime registrations. There are some offenses that are not required to register, that they may be for a period of time. And then once that registration period ends, they are given notice that they are no longer required to register. Generally speaking, it's towards the end of a probation or parole type visit. There's a process that's followed, and then they're given notice that they're no longer required to register, and they do eventually fall off that list. So the number is, it sounds a little high, but we're close. I'd have to count up again. Again, that's really the same list that you can obtain online from the state is the same list generally that we use.
Okay. So, and is your department contacted when things change as far as?
Yes.
What's going on?
We are notified, generally speaking, through probation and parole if an offender is looking to reside in Plymouth. Again, they'll look at our local ordinance as part of that decision process of where to place them. Again, part of this process came through a conversation with probation and parole where they informed us that most of our neighbors had enacted restrictions beyond what we had. It sounds like from understanding the history here that council had removed some of those restrictions back some time ago based on recommendations by the state and probation and parole. It sounds like that has changed over time, and now these restrictions, the residential restrictions, are becoming more common, and we were actually the last town here in Plymouth, or I'm sorry, in Sheboygan County, we're the last municipality, I believe, to enact such a restriction. Elkhart Lake just did it just recently, about a month or so ago, 2 months ago. We were both working at the same time. They just got to council first, or to the board first, it sounds like. So, again, these are things that are continuously changing based on state statute, public opinion, things of that nature. And in this case right now, the heart of the matter is they register for whatever period of time is their requirements. For some of them, yes, it is a life requirement. So we're notified when our offender moves in from out of state as well, those kind of things. Those are requirements. Most states have a requirement that if you're leaving their state and you're an offender, they have to notify the state you're moving to. And then, of course, you have to check in here and establish registration and such under the new state if required. And there's reciprocation between the states as to which offenses equal which offenses for registration. So in most cases, we are notified. We also do checks beyond what probation and parole does. Every year we do a check on our own and just go and make contact and make sure they actually are residing where they say they're residing, those kind of things. We verify the information that we've been given. And obviously, if there's any discrepancies, we report that through probation and parole or Department of Corrections.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. With that, the chair will entertain a motion.
I move to approve.
Second.
We have a first and a second to approve the ordinance repealing and recreating Section 11-2-17 of the City of Plymouth Code of General Ordinances related to regulation of sexual offenders. Do we have any additional questions? Clerk will call the roll, please.
Herman,
Yes.
Matzdorf,
Yes.
Binder,
Yes.
Penquitz,
Yes.
Gilson,
Yes.
Sandy,
Yes.
Tauschek,
Yes.
Hildebrand.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Thank you for all the work involved in that, Chief. Moving on to item 8, new business discussion and possible action on certified survey map, CSM, parcel number 5927182790, located on Kiley Way and Walton Drive in the City of Plymouth, to divide the parcel into 2 parcels of 1.81 acres and 1.41 acres in the B1 Business Office Zoning District. And tonight we have Jack Johnson, our Assistant City Administrator, to give us the summary. Jack.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. This came before the Planning Commission earlier this month in August. It stems from a site plan approval that was granted by the Planning Commission for a new credit union to occupy the southern parcel on the CSM. That will be occupied by Premier Financial Credit Union. The site plan approval process is handled wholly at the Planning Commission level. However, the land division process, which would divide the existing parcel into two, lot 1 on the map, and 1.4 acre parcel to be occupied by the credit union, and lot 2 on the map to be left undeveloped for future development. That is at the council's ultimate authority to approve or deny. It went through Planning Commission, the site plan approval was granted, as well as the CSM was recommended for approval. We had some minor engineering tweaks between Planning Commission and now that have been revised. We sent this out to a third-party review. There's a letter in your packet showing that these revisions were made. It's conforming to the zoning district and the comprehensive plan, so staff does recommend approval. Any questions, happy to answer.
Thank you, Jack. Chair will entertain a motion so we can discuss.
I'll move approval of the CSM as presented.
I'll second his motion.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? I will note that we do have the representatives of the parcel in the audience. If the council would like to ask a question of the individual, the chair would allow that. For any clarification? Seeing none, clerk will call the roll, please, on the motion.
Hildebrand,
Yes.
Sandy,
Yes.
Pankwitz,
Yes.
Matsdorf,
Yes.
Tauschek,
Yes.
Gilson,
Yes.
Binder,
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you, Jack. Appreciate it. Moving on to item B. The mayor hereby announces and appoints Alderperson Angie Matsdorf to the Plan Commission to fill the vacancy until April of '26. Chair thanks Alder Matsdorf for stepping up and doing that. Thank you. The next portion, we're going to go into closed session, so that means we'll ask the audience to clear, and then we'll resume when we finish the closed session items. Chair entertains a motion to go into closed session for the following.
the 3-year agreement with the Plymouth Police Department Employees Association Local 215.
Second?
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Clerk will call the roll.
Gilson,
Yes.
Sandy,
Yes.
Tauschek,
Yes.
Hildebrand,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Matsdorf,
Yes?
Binder,
Yes.
Pankwitz.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. On the second item, the claim with the city from Jessica DePactor, Chair will entertain a motion.
Mayor, I would make a motion to deny that claim from Jessica DePactor.
Second.
We have a first and a second, any discussion? Clerk will call the roll, please.
Pankwitz,
Yes.
Binder,
Yes.
Matsdorf,
Yes?
Herman,
Yes.
Hildebrand,
Abstain.
Tauschek,
Yes.
Sandy,
Yes.
Gilson.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. Thank you all for this evening. Long session, long discussion. Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move adjournment.
Second?
We have a first and second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, the ayes have it, thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you, Greg.
Congratulations.
It's been a privilege.
Thanks, guys.